Well, hey there, it's Alka.
And Jen, and welcome to another episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast. And today we are talking about, what does a six-figure online business look like?
I love this topic because it means that we can talk about what doesn't get talked about, right? And we always want that six-figure business. In fact, six figures is just the beginning. We'd hopefully get you to even higher and higher numbers. But we as coaches, teaching people how to make money on the platform called Zazzle, is that's our goal, is to get you to be financially independent. And six figures is just the start. That means it's $100,000 a year. And that actually, in this day and age, unfortunately, doesn't even go that far, which is crazy. But it's a good start, right? And so what would life be like if you had that six-figure income? Not only as an online business, but as a passive online business, which is so cool, right? Because like, what? I can make $100,000 without working so hard, not going to a 9-to-5 job. That's what's been happening for us for the last, 14 years now. I mean, we didn't always make $100,000 right from the get-go, because we had to do it the hard way and learn how to make our business work at the six-figure level, and that took a couple of years. But then once I got started and knew that and how that worked and how that came about consistently, I was making six figures consistently for years and years and years, and I still doing really, really well on the Zazzle platform. And that's really, really important. And I keep saying the word really, because it's true. And it's wonderful because it gives you the freedoms that money can buy.
Yeah.
Right? And we always think money pays our bills and pays for our food and for our things that have to be paid for. But we forget that money can give you freedoms. And those freedoms are free of being in debt, free to enjoy the finer things. You can go and do stuff that you don't always have budgeted for, free to give to charity and do good works, not only money but your time, and free to spend time with doing other things like being with loved ones, or traveling, or just spending the day the way you want to. Now, maybe after a while you might get a little bit bored just lazing on the couch and watching TV or movies, but the money at six figures would allow you to have that choice. And this is the thing that we don't remember, because we're so busy in our little hamster wheels pushing ourselves forward and continuing to do stuff for others. But when you start to create a six-figure business, that's when you can start to say, like, sayonara, I don't have to work for you anymore. I'm working for myself. And so that's the whole purpose of this particular podcast, is to help you understand not only that it can be possible, because it's happened for us and for our clients as well, our coaching clients, and we can't make any income claim statements, but we can say, here's what's happened. And those are wonderful people who live all across the world, who are in different situations. So it's never like just one type of person or one skill set or whatever, but they're doing things at the six-figure level to create that six-figure business, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So what are our points for today?
Okay, so the points are that Zazzle is a business opportunity that can provide a six-figure online business. It is a six-figure online business attainable for you. And shift your mindset from the 9-to-5 type of 9-to-5 type of person to entrepreneur, actions and responsibilities, and then six-figure business numbers in terms of like what actually is a six-figure business with the money.
Yeah, so those are great points, and we're going to dive deep into each one of those. So let's start with the Zazzle platform, because you could have picked any platform, and these other 3 points, do apply to whatever platform or business opportunity that you want to do. But we have been working on the Zazzle platform for 14 years, and we've had really good success with that. We've done other things. We've done tons of other things, online, offline, brick and mortar, craft fairs, you name it, we've tried it. Not just as creatives in terms of artwork or photography or handmade goods or digital whatever, but we've also done like writing and it's a very big gamut of things. But what we've come to realize is that Zazzle becomes that just perfect business in a box. The things that we struggled with, like getting people to come in, like the volume of people that we need to make sales, the extra time that we were spending with customer service, and the time that was taken away actually from creating more products, and even the business model of creating one thing once and not just selling it once, because on Zazzle you can sell it over and over again, just changed everything. It allowed us to get to six figures so much quicker, and allowed us to be consistent in getting that six figures year after year.
Yeah.
And so for us, as I mentioned before, maybe in this podcast, maybe in another one, but the two of us have sold over $15 million worth of Zazzle products without really very much investment except for our computers and our internet and our time.
Yeah.
We may have put some money into buying some graphics, but a lot of things we do as we design our own. And we've also done art and photography and you name it. So it's a little bit of everything. But the main thing is that we put all these creative designs up on the Zazzle platform onto these products that are blanks on Zazzle until you add your own designs in and publish them in your own virtual store. And so the profitability from that 15 million of sales, even if we set our royalty at 10%, which is what we do, we've made $1.5 million. And when other people who talk about, hey, we made so much money online, ask them what they took home. Yeah. Ask them what it is that is their profit, right? Because that's what's going to be your six-figure business, right? It's not the sales. It's not the big money. It's what do you take home after you've paid for expenses. And for us, it's like 85 to 90, if not even more percent profit. Most of the money that isn't profit goes to paying our taxes, right? But since we're a small business, we actually have lots of tax opportunities, savings opportunities, and so we don't actually have to pay that much in taxes even. So that's just such a wonderful business model. And think and consider that as what is your bottom line? What's your profit? What do you get to take home and put in your bank? And if that's six figures, then that's the business model you want to go with. For us, that's Zazzle. And we love Zazzle. We love talking about it. We love coaching others on it. We're just so excited. We've actually helped our students so far, our top students, sell over $6 million worth of Zazzle products. So they're catching up to us in terms of our coaching program clients, right?
I think one time, I can't remember when I said it, but I said, I eat, breathe, and live and bleed Zazzle. I bleed blue. But because we just talk about it all the time, and it's become such a big part of our lives. And the reason why is just because it's changed our lives, and it's given us so many opportunities because we've been able to create a six-figure business online. And as Elka mentioned before, passively. And it's not only just about the money too, it's time freedom. So are you able to and the weirdest things that always come to my mind is that if I wanted to go to the dentist, or I need to go grocery shopping, or I need to go to the bank, I don't need to ask my boss to take time off. I can just do it, right? Or you don't have to go to the dentist on the weekend because you're able to slot those time periods into the week schedule. And just even those tiny little freedoms of I'm able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, whatever that may be, is so luxurious to certain people, because you're in a 9-to-5 job and you have to be in your office and sitting down, and you have to ask for your boss, or ask your boss to take time off. And so those things in terms of the freedoms are just outside of your own reality sometimes, because you don't even realize that that's possible, or it could be a thing for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that just says it all. And during COVID, for example, that was the other thing that was so significant, was we were able to just stay safe at home. And that's such a luxury. We didn't have to go out to earn a living. We didn't, we used to say we didn't have to, do a long commute or something like that. But the last year with COVID has just accentuated how amazingly grateful we are about the Zazzle platform and the Zazzle business opportunity that is just really there. You just have to open up a store and put up your products. And we always say that it's as easy as that, but it's not that easy, because you're running a six-figure business. And that's the part that's the problem, is we as creatives don't realize we have to have a lot of things in place in order to run a six-figure business. We just think that it's so easy. We just slap up some products and then that's it. And then why don't we get paid? So there's more to it. But in terms of having a choice of running a Zazzle business or running another, like a brick and mortar or Etsy or drop shipping on Amazon, there's so many more hoops that you have to jump through,
Yeah.
and so many more things in terms of money and investment. We don't actually, like I said, a computer and internet, that's our costs. It's barrier to entry is so little, and to get that 6 figures back. And so that's why we love Zazzle so much. And we highly recommend you give it a shot if you haven't already. And if you're on the Zazzle platform and you're going like, but I'm not making 6 figures, that's why I'm listening to this podcast, then let's keep diving in, because there's certain things that need to happen in order for that 6 figures to show up. And for me, it took 4 years. Maybe for you, if you get the right training and take the right actions, it might be less. But I can't make any income claim statements. Always, never can. It's all up to you. All right. So, but the other thing that's really important, and this is why we do a lot of this work in the Creative CEO Mastermind, is working on your mindset. And everyone goes like, there's nothing wrong with my mindset. I'm fine. I want to make 6 figures. What's wrong with that? But there's so many things that you don't understand about your journey up to this point that's actually stopped you from creating 6-figure businesses. And so therefore there's the work to be done, because otherwise you'd already be making 6 figures. And it's not because you don't know what products to put up, and it's not because it's literally your work habits, how you commit and take responsibility, and how you shift and believe that it's possible for you to make that money. That's the biggest one. And so that's why in point number 2, is this 6-figure business attainable for you? You have to believe that. And if you don't, that's where we do the work with you in the Creative CEO Mastermind.
Yeah.
So starting with that shift in belief, and then, as I said, we can't make any income claim statements, but once our students make that shift, and you can just see it in their eyes when they're like, we're just talking, and we're doing all kinds of exercises and keep working on journaling and affirmations and diving deep into past history about influences of money and opinions and attitudes towards money, and the environment that people have been in terms of the influences that they have from external people around them. And then you come closer and closer to why it is that that's not possible for them in their belief system. And once they realize that they now have a safe space to land and a place where they can allow themselves to make that transition to believe that, and that they also get the support, wow, their eyes just change. Like you can just see it, and their shoulders drop. And then they're all of a sudden realizing, hey, this is awesome. I'm excited. And it's not like, okay, but you haven't told me what to do. It's just like, I'm excited. I know I can do this.
Yeah.
And that doesn't matter what steps are next. It's like, I'm going to do it. I can do it. All I need to know is get told what to do. And if something doesn't work, I'll try something else. Because now they believe, right? And that's where a lot of people fail, is because they go, I tried it once and it doesn't work. I don't believe it.
Yeah. And then also as well, I think when you're in a corporate job or a 9-to-5 job, you don't actually have the belief in yourself that you even can achieve those things, or if it's even possible. Because when I first started out on Zazzle and I opened up my first store, it almost felt sort of surreal that I was making money online, or that I was actually doing something for myself, because I had been in university and I'd been told what to do. I've gone to like a 9-to-5 job. I had my like sort of life structured out for me. And as soon as I was able to actually do something on my own, it sort of felt like outside of this world, right? You didn't understand how it could even be possible, because you've been so conditioned and so structured in your life, always being told either by your boss or your teachers, what to do and when to do it during this certain time period, right? You go to work at 9 and you leave at 5, and that's it. And so when you are actually given this opportunity to maybe even create something of your own, even though the possibilities are endless, like you could probably build a 6-figure or even 7-figure business on Zazzle, but even to hear those words sounds sort of outside of this reality, right? And you don't even conceptualize how that could be possible for you, because you've never done that before. And that was at least my experience, where I didn't even know what that meant, right? A 6-figure online business and earning passive income, it sounds like the dream, but it's really weird where you think that, I don't think that that's my dream, or it could even be achievable because I've never experienced it before.
Yeah, it's someone
right?
else's possibility, but not yours. Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of you probably resonate with that, where it's just sort of outside your reach. It's something that you actually like dream about and you would love to have, but you don't think it's possible for yourself because no one's actually told you that you're able to do it. Yeah.
And we believe in you. We believe in you. And that's what everyone forgets, is that once someone believes in you and once someone gives you the right tools to move forward and then you are on board and you believe, it's amazing what you can accomplish.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of which, so far our top students in the programs that we offer and coaching programs that we and masterminds that we do, we are we've got a count going. So right now it's over $600,000 take home, not sold. Remember, we're talking about that take home. And that's the one statement that every single person who's doing really, really well, like Christine or Brandon or Susan or Wendy or any of the other people that we keep talking about, they say, I finally believed in myself. Because you believed in me and you helped me guide me through and make, take away that disbelief. And so that's why it's number 2, is you have to believe this, no matter what it is, right? Thomas Edison believed he could make a light bulb, but it took him 1,000 tries. Well, what if he quit after 2 because he didn't believe anymore, right? We would all be in darkness right now, first of all. But secondly, he would have just failed. And that's where we would all be, right? If we just said, okay, I don't believe it, it's not going to happen. So that what do? We give up, or we don't try anymore. So that's number 2, believing.
Actually, so it was point
and then
2 and 3.
You mixed in a little bit of point 3, which we can now dive a little bit deeper in, because that shift in mindset from 9 to 5 to entrepreneur, it comes with actions and responsibilities that are required as an entrepreneur that normally you don't need to deal with when you're in a 9 to 5 job. And that's such a shift. And we get scared with that. I got scared with that. It's like, whoa, this is all my responsibility now.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Where's the person that's telling me I can go home at 5 because I've been here since 9? And I still get paid.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure that you understand that if you have trouble with that you get help. That it's really, really important to get that help. And I know that you talked about your story, but once you realize that you switched it from worry about what to do to being empowered because when you did something that did work, you realized you could do more, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, that was simply said, but that's the biggest point there.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what does a 6-figure business look like in terms of numbers? And as much as, so we've done the mindset, we've done the belief, we've done the platform that you can use. But now what we need to do is dive a little deeper and say, well, how do you get to 6 figures, right? And the 6 figures, if you understand that terminology, it means 100K or more a year that you can take home, right? And so if you divide that by 365, which is the number of days in the year, you come out with $274 a day. So unless you are getting paid $274 a day, you're never going to make it to 6 figures for the year. And you're probably listening to this and going like, that's scary.
Well, a lot of Zazzle designers, when they first started, like, we didn't make that in our first year. So
no, we made $90 in our first year.
So $274 a day sounds very scary, but it's definitely attainable and achievable. But you just obviously have to have the proper structure and plan in place and have that 6-figure production plan. And strategy.
So do the math with what you're earning right now and see how you can get to 6 figures. Obviously, it's $274 a day, but what are you making a day? If you're not making that a day, you're it's almost a bit of a delusional thing, because we always want to believe in the best, right? But if we don't just come right out with this cold hard fact and say, I'm not making $274 a day, oops, then I can't really dream about my 6-figure business. I have to do something about that. I have to make it different. And so now you've got a benchmark that you can use to aim towards. And then you can reverse engineer that and say, okay, well, what do I need to do in order to make $274 a day? So I have to make 274, let's say 200, like whatever. I can keep with that number if you want. I have to make that much in terms of royalties. So if I sell 10 t-shirts, I make $20 in royalties. So I have to make 100 sales minimum to make $200. So I have to almost sell 300 t-shirts a day, every single day, in order to make that money. And when you make that conclusion in that reverse engineering, then you go like, that's not a good business model. That's not going to work. So how can I make it a business model that does work, that's feasible, that's not going to put that much pressure on me? Because that's, in some cases that might be true for someone who has a very large following or has that much influence, but at this point, that's not what us as average Joes have, and we never had that. Even though we didn't have that, we still made really great business decisions that allowed us to make $1.5 million. And that's our take home. So look at your product suite, look at what you have to sell to make $274 a day, and make sure that you reverse engineer that and go like, how is this possible for me to get that? And this is one of the things that we do in the Creative CEO Mastermind, is that we help you do that. We give you a 6-figure analyzer, and that 6-figure analyzer helps you break it down and understand how you could leverage certain designs to sell more and other designs to come up and get better at selling. And then you'll be able to bring a group of products up in your inventory into what I call like the emerging funnel, so that ultimately these products that are like doing really, really well can give you that $274 a day easily, no matter what happens. And that's how Brandon and Christine and Wendy and Susan and all the other people all the other people that we talk about that have come to that 6-figure mark have done that. And so think about it, make sure that that's part of what you're doing when you're trying to get to 6 figures. And if you need help with that, you know where to find us. All right. Do I have anything else that I said in the notes? No. Done. So that's good. So let's recap the points. The Zazzle business opportunity, or Zazzle platform, is a great business opportunity. And if that's something you're interested in doing and have yet to do, then go for it. If you are already on Zazzle and you go like, it's not doing that for me, then speak to us and ask us how this can be better for you. Maybe there's a way that we can help you. Then also you have to make sure that you believe that 6 figures is possible for you. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is shift your mindset from that 9 to 5 and move it to entrepreneurialism, where you have to take ownership 100% in all of your actions and responsibilities to make it happen for you. And then the last thing is reverse engineer that dollar amount so that you can actually physically get that to happen within your store if you're on the Zazzle marketplace. If you're doing another business, it's the same thing. It's just a matter of figuring out what it is that's going to make you that 6 figures consistently every year. And if you can't see that happening just by doing the math, then you've got to increase your product suite of whatever that is.
So thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.